Greetings and salutations. Welcome to Knife Chats with Tobias. Okay, I guess I'll do a Two for Tuesday. If this ends up airing on Wednesday, then it's a Two for Tuesday that's a day late and $1 short. Two for Tuesday is an open tag that was created by Tom over at Knife Delights. I don't normally release videos on Tuesday, so that's why I'm not a big participant in the open tag, but it is a really cool open tag. In any case, what we have here are two knives, and they are very similar knives, two jackknives to be precise. And if you notice, they have these things, you see the small bolster there? These are often referred to as small bolster knives. And they are typically inexpensive knives. And if you notice here, one of them says Kent on the shield. Well, both of these knives are actually made by Kent. One is kind of a, just a sleeve board, and the other one is a little bit of a serpentine jack. Both of them are two-blade jacks too. The difference is one of them has a clip blade and the other one has a spear point. This one is about as close to being a boy's knife as you could have as a boy's knife, with the exception of it's got bolsters on both ends instead of just a small bolster at the top. The cool thing about these knives, and the reason I bought them, is because of the covers that are on the knife. If you notice, they are all sorts of different colors, and there's nothing that really matches in there. And what it is the story goes that the reason they're called end-of-day covers is because it was all these scraps of celluloid that were left over from the day's run. They would just take and melt it all down, and then they would create some new covers, and then they would slap it on the knives, at the end of the day. That's the story behind it. I don't know how accurate that is or not, but the name has stuck. The other thing you'll hear them called is confetti knives, in which case it would have been purpose-made. Chances are maybe at one time they did actually make like real end-of-day covers where they just used all the scrap celluloid. We got to remember that the knives kind of date from the 1930s, so they would not have been wasting anything if at all possible. So that would be a good reason to scrape up all the leftover, remelt it, and make covers for it. But you could have also done a better job of mixing all that plastic back up, or you could have made them the next day. In any case, the other name is, like I mentioned, is confetti. Confetti covers, and it does look like confetti. I don't know when people started calling them confetti. But in any case, both of these knives are made by Kent. And Kent was a brand of knives that were produced by most likely Camillus. I believe that's the story. Camillus made the Kent knives. In any case, it is another trademark or brand that was owned by Adolf Castor. So most likely Camillus made the knives. They're Kent knives, and they were made in New York. And we see here, well, we don't see anything there. This is the pin blade on the smaller of the two. This is the one that has the removable bail that are often lost. And then the pin blade has really good action on there. Obviously carbon steel blades. And you can see there it does have brass liners going on, brass pins. And then the second blade on here is a well-used Spear Master blade. And there you can see Kent and I believe New York City. Yeah, see Kent, New York City. And that's where the Kent knives were had, out of New York City. And the blade action on this is a very lazy blade. So I have cleaned it, but it is still a very lazy blade. And then the other knife here is another small bolster. This one is on a serpentine handle. This one is on what you would call more of a sleeve board. Notice the small bolsters. And the small bolsters were there to protect the plastic at the end. Again, brass liners going on with that. And a nice pin blade that was barely used, but definitely rounded there. So I got a feeling the tip might have broken or sometime and they replaced it or repaired it. And then you got the clip blade clip blade again is a little lazy on here. You can definitely see Kent, New York City. Nice long pull. And the knife, well, I think it's supposed to have a half stop on this blade, but the action is so bad that it just is worn out. But considering the half stops on the other blades, really good action. And Kent was a budget line. That's another reason why I always harp on half stops is not necessarily a sign of quality. It's just a feature on a knife. But in any case, two Kent end of day jackknives that I have in my collection now. Really wish more companies would come out with end of day covers. I mean, you do see them occasionally on somebody like GEC will do an end of day cover, but the prices they charge are phenomenal. I would like to see something like this in done by like Rough Rider, or maybe a nice end of day series in the Queen USA line would be pretty cool. I know it would cost a little bit more and maybe some people wouldn't be crazy about it, but I don't know. I think end of day covers are really interesting, and the fact that no two are anywhere near alike is pretty cool too. Anyway, with that said, I will let you go. I hope you enjoyed looking at these knives, and I'll talk to you again soon. What the heck, as Ernie Banks used to say, let's play two. And we have two more knives here, so it's a double header of Two for Tuesdays. This one is by Miller Brothers Cutlery, and this one is Cherokee Stoneworks. For those not familiar, both of these are house brands of Jim Frost. Miller Brothers Cutlery is an old company, and he basically, when they went out of business, he ended up buying their trademark. Cherokee Stoneworks is also a Jim Frost trademark. I don't think it's around anymore. I think he replaced Cherokee Stoneworks with the Silver Horse Stoneworks. That's the difference between the two. So these were first, and then Silver Horse Stoneworks showed up. So let's take a look at these knives. We'll open up the Miller Brothers first, well, because it was on top. And because you already saw a picture of it, you know it's pink. But you don't know just how fat these things are. Look at that. It's a 3-layer toothpick. I saw these about 12 years ago, and the first time I saw it, I was like, I really want to pick up one of those. But the way I saw it was online, and they showed it with all the blades open. Let me see if I can do this without cutting anyone. One of the things I will tell people, if you're going to display a knife with a bunch of blades open, the easiest way and the safest way to start is with all blades open. Especially if you're doing a knife with things opening on both sides, you don't want to put a lot of pressure on the back spring. So what you do is you open all the blades, and if you have blades on both sides, you want the one blade to either be all the way open, at least one of the two blades, because usually, well, obviously you only have one blade per channel or two blades per channel. If you got two blades in the channel, if you open them all up, let me get a knife that has blades all over the place. Okay, we interrupt this 3-blade toothpick with a 6-blade Congress that has blades obviously opening on both sides. And what's the best way to display these blades so that you're not putting a lot of strain on the back spring? Because really what you do not want to do is put strain on the back springs, because they will break over time or they'll loosen up and such. And if you notice, when you open a knife and it's not in, well, if it's in the half stop position, there's very little pressure on the back spring. If it is in the all the way open position, it's neutral. There's no pressure at all on the back spring. But if you've got it at any kind of cant, you do have a little bit more pressure on the back spring. And obviously, depending on how far down you go, you're going to cause the blade to just close, and then you're going to have to restart fixing all the blades up again. I found the best way to do this is get all the blades open first and then deal with how to position the blades. And what I try to do is, if you notice, each spring is operating 2 blades. What I try to do is set it so that only one back spring has a blade that is at a 45-degree angle, or at the, what would it be, like about a 125 or 130-degree angle sticking out on the backside there. I don't mind too much the neutral right in the middle position, 90 degrees, but it's the ones that are at an angle. I only want one spring at an angle, or if at all possible. And so the first thing to do is get all the blades open. I usually start with the smaller blades first, and I open them all the way up. Once you get a blade moving on one side, it's time to use a surface to get the blade all the way open, so that you're not pulling that blade down and your hand coming towards a blade. You don't want to hit one of those sharp surfaces of a blade. You don't want to cut yourself. So, get it to the halfway position and then push it the rest of the way with a table or something like that. All right, I got all the blades open now. And so I sit there and I try to figure out, how do I want these blades to present? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the one of the tall blades right down the center. So now that blade is in the half stop position. That means this blade can be at an angle. It can be either partially open, or or it can be somewhere like that. That's really the possibilities I have. So what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to cant that one in a little bit. So now I have one of the blades taken care of, and that means one of these blades can be at the 90-degree angle. And these blades, if that one's at the 90-degree angle, I can push this one all the way forward. I'm going to pull this one back down and push this one in a bit. And now I can get this one up. That leaves these 2 blades on the end. And what I can do is I can get one of those blades turned in a little bit and leave the other one all the way out. So that's what I will do. I'll set it like so. And that is the way I would display this knife. I know it looks a little odd that this blade is sticking straight out, but there's no stress on the back springs at that point. And that's why I would do that. And you could do the same thing with the next layer and the next layer. I could do at least one more layer, 8 blades, and have one more layer and have one more sticking out there and one more coming over there. So that's the way I do it, so that there's not a lot of stress on the back spring. However, with a knife like what we have up here, all the blades are on one side, so it really doesn't matter how you position them. You're not going to put any added stress on the back spring because you don't have blades operating from both sides. And the funky thing with this one is just how fat the knife is. In any case, when they show it online, this is the way you will usually see it shown online, with 3 blades. And it doesn't look that bad. It's like, wow, that's pretty cool. Until you look at it like this, is like, man, That is one fat puppy I got there, because it is a wide knife. When you get 3 layers going on and 3 channels, you know, these blades have a little space between there. This is fatter than your little average peanut or something like that. And the first time I saw this in person, it's like, I really don't want one of these knives, because I like a nice skinny peanut, and this is not a nice skinny peanut, because it's got 3 blades. But then later I'm looking at it and go, man, I really wish I'd have picked up that 3-blade peanut, or a 3-blade toothpick. And so I saw this online. It's like, all right, I'm going to go ahead and grab it. And it's like, okay, well, it's pink. It's like, well, you got a couple other pink knives. You can throw it in with the collection. That's something else I need to show someday, is all my pink knives. I wonder if anyone else would be interested in that kind of open tech. Show us your pink knives. Yeah. Seeing red is one thing, but showing all your pink knives? In any case, I got this. It's like, that looks pretty cool. Got the Miller Brothers shield there. It's black enamel with the little gold trim on there. Got the brass line. Look at the fit on that. That is really nice. I mean, they are all flush. You got this celluloid here. The celluloid in the front almost looks like a pink pearl. It's when you see the backside that you realize, no, that is definitely celluloid. And if you look at it closely, you see that it's not even like a clear coat over it. It's nice and pink all the way through there. Nicely penned too. Really flush. In any case, I saw this. I was like, man, that's kind of cool. I'm going to go ahead and pick it up. I know how fat it is. I know what it's like. And then after I bought that, it's like, wait, what's that? Because it's like eBay always likes to show you other things. And a knife similar to that was this one here by Cherokee Stoneworks. And it was another one. And this one is in crushed abalone. That's right. This is green crushed abalone. And it really has a nice sparkle to it. I just see all those colors. Let me back out some. I know what I'll do. Well, let's zoom in and back out. See that? It was just gorgeous. And yeah, it's like an acrylic mixture that is just filled with little bits of crushed abalone, and you can see the layer going on there. And if you notice, like right there, you can see how some of the abalone is sitting on top of other pieces of abalone, and then you've got the clear on the top. It is not pinned, so it is glued in place, but I don't know, I just saw that and that was gorgeous. Then you got all the file work going on here. Again, the brass liners. The file work could have been a lot better. Matter of fact, I would have liked it better without the file work, but they did the file work, and they got the file work on the blades. Same blades that you have on that knife. The action on this is an old knife, and I can tell because it really needs to be cleaned. I just haven't bothered to do it yet. But you got right there, Cherokee Stoneworks. See the file work. And the other blades. File work down the blades. Let's see if, oh man, see now I screwed up. One of the blades closed. I'm going to start all over. I'm going to just get that one to there, get that one to there, and pull this one back. All right, now let's see if I can back out and this will focus or not. There we have it. I don't know, it's just a gorgeous knife. I saw it, I liked it, and so I ordered it. And now, instead of just having one 3-blade toothpick, I've got a second one in green abalone and then pink celluloid. Miller Brothers and Cherokee Stoneworks. Any case, there you have it. Another 2 for Tuesday in a double header. So hope you enjoyed it. Talk to you again soon. let me take just a second to thank you once again for dropping by and spending a few minutes here at Knife Chats with Tobias. I really do appreciate it, and I do appreciate any comments that you leave. So please remember to give me that thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you'll know when the next episode is up and running. Thanks again for dropping by. Really do appreciate your time here.